Claiborne, Steph here. Since Mother's Day is only a few days away, Randy and I thought it would be fun for me to talk this week. This is my first Mother's Day and I'm very excited. This time last year, Randy and I announced we were expecting Stephen. We did it using Legos too. A lot has happened over the last year and it's really been a lot of fun. Today, I'd like to share a few of my favorite things about being a mommy while I put together this Beauty and the Beast set we got back in January. Number 1, seeing Stephen happy. This one is so obvious, but there really isn't anything more precious than seeing that gummy little smile looking back at you. Very early on, it seemed as if Stephen would never smile. Friends of ours with children around the same age as Stephen were posting adorable photos of their only weeks-old baby smiling and looking happy. We quickly realized we weren't having the same experience. In fact, we nicknamed him Gremlin because it seemed all he did was growl and frown. It may not seem like a big deal, but it really made us wonder if he'd ever be a happy baby. However, at about 2 months, Stephen finally began smiling at us. Now at almost 7 months, Stephen is smiling all the time. Sure, we occasionally get a glimpse of the little gremlin we learned to love and adore very early on, but it's such a joy to see Stephen as a happy little human. Number 2, seeing Stephen explore and learn. Stephen is a very curious little guy. We've received numerous comments on how observant he is because he tends to really focus in on people or objects, as if he's studying them. Sometimes it's easy to imagine the gears in his head working to figure things out. My family likes to joke and say he inherited the family trait of being very nosy, which is probably partially true, but I like to think of it as Stephen just being curious. Currently, his fascination is with doors, door frames, and windows. He loves to go outside and say hi to the trees in our yard and talk to them as he reaches out to touch them and stare up at the branches and leaves. Randy gets a little discouraged with how he always wants to put his toys in his mouth rather than play with them, but I've tried explaining how that's just Stephen's way of exploring his toys. He's currently learning how to get onto all fours and bounce a bit, so we're sure he'll learn to crawl very soon. Number 3, cuddles. This one is simple but my favorite. From day one, I've loved cuddling Stephen and letting him sleep on me. That was definitely easier to do when he was tiny. Now at 20 pounds and 27.5 inches long, cuddling can be a little challenging. Yet, we make it work. Randy and I have worked very hard at training Stephen to sleep in his own bassinet for naps and bedtime. And it hasn't been an easy or flawless process. There are some days or moments when he's just in an odd mood and cuddles is the only thing that soothes him. Those are the moments I cherish very much. There are some people that believe holding your child too much will only spoil them. But I think there are far worse ways to spoil a child. One day, Stephen will be a grown boy, and he'll definitely be too big to sleep in my arms. I'm sure there will come a day when he won't need my cuddles quite as much as he does now. Until then, I will enjoy while I can. You know, Claiborne, although I'm pointing out all the lovely things about being a parent, I won't ignore the less appealing aspects. There's the honest reality that I'm always tired and that I don't always get to eat exactly when I want to anymore. There's also the fact that even after almost 7 months, I still manage to get peed on more often than I'd like to admit. There are also some days when I'm feeling physically worn, but Stephen wants nothing more than to be held and walked around. Some days are tougher than others. However, the beautiful moments Stephen provides truly outweigh all the less attractive ones. I give being a mommy 5 jalapenos. Talk to you later, Claiborne.
Whoa.